Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for the brand new video. And today's video is here and I have the very interesting job of trying to flip the mood that me and thee are in right now. I need to flip it all the way back round so we're actually excited and feeling good by the end of today's video, looking in at this game at Ford Park versus Hammerthrower FC. Wish me luck on that. Now, I know there's going to be people out there that this video is probably far too soon for. There's still so much anger, there is still so much frustration, but today's video is actually very, very important because not only are we previewing tomorrow's game, we're also going to break down this injury list we now have at Rangers, and there's a couple of very mad ones that we need to discuss and break down, so there is a lot to actually digest from the Rangers side of today's video. But before we actually go ahead and get there, as always, we will stick to the same formula that we all enjoy here on the channel, and that is having a look at the opposition first and seeing who stands in our way of making our weekend, saving our weekend, and of course getting the most important thing, which is those 3 points. So without any further ado, let's dive right in to the oppositional preview and have a look at this Motherwell side, who at my current time of recording are sitting 7th in the old spfl. And you know, son, it's probably quite fitting that the team we face next after the European embarrassment started the season off with a European embarrassment. A European embarrassment, by the way, that cost their manager the job despite it being early on in the season. Make of that what you will. However, it does have to be said, despite me saying European embarrassment several times already in today's video, Motherwell has actually done pretty well to respond after what looked to be an absolute horrific start to the season, where everyone was licking their lips thinking they were going to be cannon fodder for the rest of the league. Stevie's came in, sort of calmed the ship, had some good performances, had some iffy ones, and I suppose that's always what you're going to get from the likes in Motherwell. But again, they've had some very impressive wins over the likes of Aberdeen, St Mirren, who are doing very well this season, and of course Livingston, who are always tough to play against, whilst also getting their pants pulled down and getting beat off the Hibs, the Hearts and the Celtic. And a strange game of football that, yes, they scored the worst goal I've ever seen at Parkhead, but still, it's a game of football at Parkhead versus Celtic, who were flying at that time. As I imagine some Motherwell fans will be very disappointed they didn't get something from the game, because they had opportunities, they had chances to go after them, but they just never ever took them. I think the perfect summary of frustration in the Motherwell camp is in, what, the 92nd minute. They had a free kick from 35 yards out, all the centre backs were forward, they decided to hit a shot. And honestly, it was 35 yards out, but it went 35 yards over the bar. I've never seen any silliness like it, people, but that's what it's kind of been for Motherwell. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, as my favourite song from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas once told. And aye, that's the way it's been all season for Motherwell. They are not consistent at all. In fact, that's an actual lie, people. The only thing they're consistent at is being inconsistent. However, when they're on, when things are clicking, they are a very, very dangerous side. They can hurt teams, they can frustrate teams. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Motherwell team that we see tomorrow. Will they be licking their lips, looking to put one over on a limping, and I mean limping, Rangers side with this guy missing, this guy missing, this guy missing? Will they be looking at that saying, right, we performed well at Parkhead versus a pretty much full strength Celtic side. What about on our home patch now versus a Rangers team that's held together with blue tack? Will they fancy it? Who knows about that? Regarding their playstyle, if you wonder, because of course they're under a new manager, have they tweaked or changed anything drastically? And I wouldn't say drastically, but there has been some changes as Motherwell actually comes into this game versus Rangers, as one of the teams in the SPFL that's changed their formation the most out of the games that they've played. As they've played a 4-1-4-1, they've played a 4-4-2, the classic 4-4-2, they've played a 4-3-3 several times this season, but I've seemed to find their better form in what is the 4-2-3-1, which they also lined up at Parkhead, which was very brave, but also very effective because it gave them an out ball. This wasn't the Motherwell side that we have seen over the last couple of years that just plays everybody back and just aims long balls, just just kicks long balls for fun. It's not been that way for Motherwell, and it wasn't that way at Parkhead, so it'll be interesting to see if they line up in the 4-2-3-1 again. If they do, they'll be looking to use Van Veen as a sort of playmaker, who's a very clever player as well, by the way. He's got a bit of football about him for a big laddie, and I think he'll be, again, getting some of those long balls, I should say, but he brings it down well, and it'll be an interesting battle between him and James Sands, because he looks to have some of his antics to win a lot of cheap free kicks, so Sands needs to be clever not to buy and give any of those free kicks. But again, because they've got that extra man going forward, there's always somebody to play off the big striker, and then it's out wide, and then it's putting balls into the mixer. That is what they've done well so far this season. When Motherwell have looked dangerous, and when Motherwell have been playing football the right way, it's using the big man as the playmaker. It's gone out wide, they're getting in the box, and they're causing havoc. And truthfully, that's all I've really got to say about this interesting Motherwell side. They've looked dreadful in certain games, but they've also looked very, very dangerous in others, so it's going to be interesting to see which Motherwell side turns up tomorrow, and if they really fancy themselves again versus this limping, injury-ridden Rangers side. But moving away from the opposition, let's get to the Rangers end then, shall we? Because you can probably tell I'm chewing at the bit for this one today, ladies and gentlemen. And just like a Roof injury update, I don't know if it's going to be a long-term thing or a short-term thing right now, because I could rant here for 15 minutes, or I can try and wrap it up in 2 and 3, because again, I could sit here and say what we need today and in this game and everything. Everyone knows, we all know, every single person who's tuning in to today's video knows exactly what is needed from this Rangers team. But I do think there is a couple of things that I want to discuss, especially as it's more of a mental battle this game now as well, and there's a lot of questions about this team's mentality. Well, gone away to Fir Park versus a very physical, dangerous side after what happened midweek is a way to begin to turn the narrative that this team is mentally weak, because that's what's getting said, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I disagree with that, and I hope to God that they prove that tomorrow with a very, very good performance. But again, it still needs to be answered, because what happened versus Liverpool, what happened versus Ajax, what happened in the last 20 minutes, even though we were down to time in versus Napoli, wasn't good enough, and what happened at Parkhead certainly wasn't good enough, and that's a couple times now under Giovanni Van Bronckhorst that's been allowed to happen versus them. So there is a lot of questions about this Rangers side, but so far, taking the European disappointments away, they've came back for the winter break and had all the answers. They've played fantastic stuff versus Hearts. They played brilliantly versus St Mirren. So they need to go ahead and address this and answer it again and again, begin to turn the narrative that their team's gone, because they need to show that they're still with each other, with the manager, and with the goal of this season to lift silverware. Because despite us getting pumped versus Liverpool, there is absolutely no room for feeling sorry for themselves and taking a game or two to get back. No, we need the mojo back tomorrow, and we need it early, because again, we don't just need 3 points, we need a performance to get the players and the fans back like that. So I'll be waiting, Rangers players, please turn up and do the job. That would be greatly appreciated. But speaking of waiting, people, let's get to some injury team news then, shall we? Because I genuinely can't believe I've actually got to take notes. Do you know what I mean? See, when you do an injury update and you've got to get your phone because there's that many, there is something wrong. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, here's the official Rangers injury team news / update. Connor Goldson, Suter, Hollander, and at the midfield, Jack, Kamara, Lawrence, Hadji, Lowry, and up front for injured FC is Kamal Roof. That's a 9-player list right there, people, that genuinely, I'd be happy seeing that in the SPFL. See, if I saw that with a goalkeeper and another striker, I'd be going, yes, that looks really good. I mean, that was my back three going into the start of the season. Goldson, Hollander, Suter. That was the back three I thought we would actually see, because I was daft enough to think we would ever play 2 up top. What a silly guy I actually am. But people, this is absolutely crazy. Now, and again, everyone knows about Suter, Hollander, you've obviously known about Lawrence, Hadji and Lowry. Kamal Roof is back in training and probably shouldn't be on this injury list, but until I actually see him kick a football in the first team, I'm just going to be wondered, because I don't know what is going on with our medical department. And that leads me to my next talking point as well, because we've got an update regarding Connor Goldson. Strap yourselves in, can't be bothered with this, it's annoying me already. Because Gio mentioned that Goldson would be missing for a couple months, so the reporter went, can you give me any more details? How long will Connor Goldson be out? And Giovanni went, I don't know, several months. How don't we know? Like, what's happened to timescales under this new medical regime? I've never heard a date for long. It's just, I don't know, sometime, couple weeks, couple months, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, who knows, God knows. I just don't know what is going on with this football club right now. They're looking absolute shambles from top to bottom. Like, who is our medical department? Is it a bit of cabbage? I ken that might sound ridiculous, but is it? Because we're getting no updates and no timelines for players. We're getting couple weeks, couple months, and some people might say, oh, it's not an exact science. Aye, it is. Just tell us, is it going to be the 17th of November to the 24th? Is it going to be in that time scale? I don't know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, but that's your update regarding our rock at the back. Mr. Iron Man himself, Connor Goldson, he is out for several months, which everyone knows is a massive, massive blow. Whether you like him or not, we saw 45 minutes without Connor Goldson versus Liverpool. We conceded 6 goals and we're absolutely all over the place. So aye, that for me is a major worry. It really, really is. And aye, the rest of the injury team is, of course, Jack's now on there because he's tweaked a muscle now as well in that game versus Liverpool at that. So his isn't as long term. But again, did we get a date? Did we get 10 days? Did we get? I would take a Jordan Rossiter update right now, but we're getting nothing. We just know it's not as severe as any of the others. Kamara, I don't know what's happening there either. And again, Roof's a part of training people, but aye, this is mental. I've never seen an injury team news. And kids on, see when Callum McGregor for Celtic, sorry for bringing this up around, like, they were talking about an injury crisis and everything. People, injury crisis? We've got an entire first team out right now. Who's playing centre back tomorrow? Is it me? Well, Giovanni let us know who would be playing centre back, as we finally found out that Ben Davies, who actually tweaked something as well in the game versus Liverpool, but refused to go off the park and played through the pain. So shout out to that lad for that. He is okay to be involved tomorrow. Now that doesn't fill me with confidence, and neither does Giovanni's line about having Ben Davies, Leon King, James Sands and Lundstram can play there if required as the centre back options that he's happy with. That's one professional centre back who's had more than one season at the top level of the game. Ben Davies, he's been here 8 minutes. We've got Leon King, who was born 8 minutes ago. He's played a couple games. This is a hell of a lot of pressure on that young laddie's shoulder. And again, 2 centre mids in there. I don't know why he keeps pretending that he's happy with everything, but he needs to start speaking out, man. No wonder we're a mess right now. This isn't good, people. 2 centre-halves, one of them being a youth player last season, one of them being a guy who's played a couple games who's already on a knock, and 2 centre-mids. It actually beggars belief that we've actually got more injured centre-backs than we've got fit ones at the football club. So aye, it is well and truly a patch-up job tomorrow, but again, there is still real genuine quality in this Rangers team, and I know it's too soon to say that because everyone's raging about the players and everything like that, and I get it, people, but still, I'm going into tomorrow expecting a win and expecting a performance, no matter what or who is selected. If you sign for this football club, you're good enough to play for this football club, so there's absolutely no excuses when you're given an opportunity to play, to go out there and do your thing. So aye, I'm hoping we get to see that tomorrow. I'm expecting to see that tomorrow, but that's just my thoughts and frustrations about this injury update. I don't know what we are doing in that training centre, people, but by God, people are dropping like flies, man, and I'd just like to start getting some genuine up. Do you know what I mean? Like when Gerrard was in charge, before that Murray was in charge, even before that with Pedro, we used to find out dates or timelines or a week spell between this and this. This is when we'll get guys back. Can we just start finding out? Because it looks as if we're just in, I don't know. Nah, whatever. And that's no good, man. This is what we're talking about. That's why there's so much frustration in the club. There's so many things going wrong right now, on and off the park, that there is real frustrations there. And it's just so avoidable if you just start telling the fans the truth. Let us know. Peek back the curtain and let people know. And then everybody will start to understand and get on side. But all this, I don't know. Maybe just look at here. Look, here's a new shot. It's just no good, people. And I've got a lot of frustrations in that as well, so I've probably said frustrations a lot today's video, but that's been the type of couple of days it's been. But aye, that's your team news, that's your updates. Injury list ridiculous, and I'll be honest with you, I think injured FC would beat our first team right now. Can anybody disagree with that? I mean, we've got about 6 players fit for the morrow, but thankfully one of them is Cholak, so you know you're at least getting a goal. So aye, now that everything's been said in today's video and I've got my rant off my chest, now I hand the reins over to you guys. I want to know your thoughts and opinions. What's happening at the club right now. Not only about the game, but just how do you feel? Because for me, there's just so many departments just off, and we're just not getting told things properly, and again, it's annoying. So I'd just like to know your thoughts on that, and then of course your predictions for the game tomorrow. I am going to go, despite everything, despite all my frustrations, I'm taking my heed out of it, and I'm thinking with my heart, I'm going Rangers 3, Motherwell 1, Cholak and Alfredo with the goals. And with that being said, I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow after the game. Hopefully you enjoy your Saturday. Hopefully you're feeling a wee bit better and everything like that, because I know the midweek wasn't nice on any of us. So hopefully you're doing alright. Hopefully you enjoy your Saturday, and again, hopefully we enjoy our Sunday. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I've been CJ over 92. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.